There's a reason why we are at the top of the food chain. There's a reason why we're at the top of our hierarchy. And what does that have to do with karma? What that has to do with karma, number one, is because I have come from there, I also have it. What does that mean? It means I have plant and animal tendencies. Tendency is a very important word for us, my darlings. For those of y'all who accessed and had and were on the group and checked your email and you saw birthday karma, you will notice I used tendencies. Tendency is very crucial to understand as a part of karma, because I just didn't come through my mother and my father and my ancestors and my past lives, which is my direct lineage. I also have another lineage of plant and animal kingdoms. Tell me, what according to you are some plant tendencies? What do plants do?
Well, plant tendencies. For example, the first thing that will come to my mind is nourishment. You get food, fruits. Then there is a sense of stability. For example, a strongly rooted banyan tree, protection, and or let's I'm going to use the word protection, like a canopy, like a big broad tree, gives you comfort and gives you protection. Let's say against the rain, for example. So yeah, things like that.
What are plant tendencies? Like Neelu said, and I'm going to put it under one word, they're givers.
Right.
And they don't ask for things back. But if you don't get it back, you don't give it to them, they will die. And what do they ask? They ask for sun, they ask for water, they ask for light, and they also ask for night. Plants coexist with the cycles of the seasons. We need the sun. We need the light. We also need the dark. We need water. Lots of water, especially if you can tell that your finances or your health or your relationships have been suffering for a long time, because all of those are indications of stuck karma. But I'll come to stuck karma. This is the first understanding you need in understanding karma as an evolutionary tool. Any answers from the group? What are plant tendencies?
Yes, there are very nice answers that have come in. Before I tell you that, Payal, who is having breathing problems, wrote in to say that it's come down to 0.
Zero.
And I brought that up in the middle of all this because for everybody, and if you need to explain it, Nidhu, that once you've given the decree, it doesn't stop working. It keeps working. So suddenly you'll put in because you'll suddenly feel it. So whenever it happens, let us know on the group.
Share it with us. They'll keep working. They'll keep working for you for your whole life. Your awareness won't be able to keep up, right? Because we've already gone through another,
lots of things.
5 sentences. So we've already moved from there. But the medicine will keep working. It's like when you take a crocin, right? It's not instantaneous. It kicks in about 30 minutes later. So this one kicks in immediately and continues to keep working. Okay.
Right.
Tell me, what are some plant tendencies?
Yes. She also had a question on karma, which I'll bring up little later. So Namata says self-reliance. Vinati says plants need oxygen. Swati says they make their own food. Lotus says, I love plants. They're beautiful. They have a beautiful smile and smell. Karishma says oxygen. Nanda says when we see plants, we feel joy. Poonam says breathe oxygen out, carbon dioxide, take a photosynthesis, making food. Yogita says life. Mona says water to live. Arvind says photosynthesis from sun. We also get vitamin D from the sun.
We do.
So yeah. Anjali says nourishment, and grounding says Yati. Stillness says Shilpa.
Superb.
Sangeeta also wrote plants give.
The one who said grounding and stillness, please make
Yeah.
the name.
So
This-
stillness is Shilpa, as in Hamari Shilpa.
Hamari Shilpa.
Hamari Shilpa. Yati said grounding. And by the way, in the middle of all this, Karishma's neck pain has gone to 0.
Zero.
Right. And yeah. Nurture the nature, says Poonam. Yeah. And Vinita says plants and trees teach us to be okay with anything and still not complain.
Superb. Superb. How many people do you know like that? Are you like that?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying the plants are for this are definitely higher up than me for sure. There's no way. I don't complain. Sorry.
But if
Please
your
continue.
but if your plant DNA is strong, you will be like this. Grounding, the importance of grounding, we know only from the plants. We cannot learn grounding from an animal. Giving strength, stability, uncomplaining, and they are who they are. As are animals, but they are who they are. And they ask for very little back, and most of what they ask back is freely available. Sunshine, water, soil, of course. And for those of y'all who have very strong plant DNA, you will always have this sense, especially later in life, that I never really asked for much. So why haven't I gotten that much? We'll come to that. Remember, the understanding of karma as an evolutionary tool requires to be understood in 3 parts. This is just the first part. Tell me about animal tendencies.
So there is so much that
True.
well, with the first thing with dogs, loyalty, their connection to, then the survivor mode. They're survivors. Animals are survivors. So survival, guardianship, territorialness. Yeah. And I'm picking up, I was just going to say this, but 24532, whose name is not there, said instinct. And Deborah says unconditional. Right. Lotus says animals are always moving. Arjun says I have pets at home. Dogs teach us loyalty, truthfulness, and innocence. Protector and unconditional love says peace things. Instinct, love, compassion by animals. Sangeeta says strong. Gratitude. But they do hurt. Jayashi says they do hurt others when they do not hurt others when not hungry. Yeah. Reactive, says Anjali. Renata says animals are protective instinct, loyalty, alert, active. Yati says willpower. Malvika says transparent, what's in is out. And Arjun says animals teach us to be just ourselves and not somebody else. Abhishek says fight or flight. And Vas says they help us with healing. So, and Pudan says animal tendencies are loyalty, knowing a few things before they happen, strength, sharp, carefree. Yeah. They take only when they're hungry. They're loyal. Yeah.
Unless they are abandoned and they're not home, then, and also a lot of y'all are basing it on dogs, right?
Yes.
But animal tendencies are about animals. The willingness to kill, the ability to take. Who said loyalty? No animal is loyal to the other. You're talking about loyalty to us.
Yeah,
no,
that's what.
But the animal tendencies, meaning animal and animal.
Right.
No dog is loyal to another dog. No cat is thinking, I've already, this one should get a little bit more. So territorial. No problem in taking from somewhere else if they want it. While Yes, loot, you're right. There's movement, but no animal is getting up and saying, this boss is really toxic, I'm moving to another city. They can move. But you're right, there's a difference between them and the plants, which is plants are stationary. They're grounded, they have stillness, and animals have movement. And brilliant, whoever brought up fight or flight. This fight or flight hindbrain, reptilian brain, is something we all carry till today. This particular part of our brain, which manages this, looks identical to a reptile's brain, meaning that lizard, the brain of that lizard, expanded, is here in us. There are so many ways in which our evolution has taken place, and we still carry some of the imprints, like, for example, wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth showed up when man started chewing thick, heavy bark, branches, stems, leaves. Our wisdom teeth were required for that. Appendixes are from the rabbit family. What is our coccyx called?
Tailbone.
Tailbone. Our tails. If you see an embryo about 33 to 36 weeks old, it has a tail. Nictitating membrane became our semilunaris. Here, in that corner of our eye, we don't know what that thing does over there, that little white part, that is from the toad family. Because the nictitating membrane, and by the way, when we do the 2-minute body alchemy, I will come back to nictitating membrane. The nictitating membrane was the precursor of an eyelid, because they don't have eyelids, but you still need to clean your eyes, right? Every time you blink, everybody blink. Close your eyes. Open them slowly, gently. Your eyes are fresher. Your eyes have been cleaned. Even if you take a look at all the ways that we do yoga, it is primarily, there are other parts, but it's primarily all the ways that our body needs to do the best of animals. Bhujang, cobra, Ashwashanchalan, horse, kapot, pigeon, shashank, rabbit. The way that we are designed is to be better, but not forget how many ways our muscular systems, digestive system, fight or flight systems are still rudimentary. How old is Earth?
Sorry?
4.5 billion.
How old?
How old are bacteria? 3.5 billion. How old are plants and animals? Human beings, the way that we know it, civilization as we know it, is 6,000 years old. Our ancestors are 200,000 years old. From there till here, till who we are today, we are 6,000 years old. The year is not 2023. The year is 5077. How old is it for the bacteria? 4.5 billion. The tendencies of the plants and the tendencies of an animal, we still carry. Whatever you have understood about the animal kingdom, there are things that take place that we do today as well. Except for a very select group of mammals, no animal takes care of their young.
Right.
They will feed for that little time. Although the younger the evolutionary step, there's no feeding also. The feeding happens only across in the vertebrate section. It is just, no cockroach is thinking, hi, मेरे बच्चे ने दूध नहीं दिया. No animal has any boundaries. Definitely not sexual boundaries. It will sleep, mate with whoever it needs to, even if it is from the same litter.
Right.
An animal will take from another animal's bowl, will fight, will attack, will kill. Tell me, how many of these are sounding like people you know? The reason that abandonment is the biggest wound in humanity is because we have not evolved enough to get to a point where the nourishing and nurturing of the young becomes part of our DNA. Procreation, and invariably, there are those of us who will say, oh, I planned my child, I want to have a child, I'm desperate to have a child, I'm going through IVF to have a child. But for the most part, children have just happened. We've just had them. Procreation, procreated. The species must continue. The law of the jungle, which is the rules that govern Mother Nature, govern us. How old are animals? Billions. Humanity, 200,000. I shouldn't say humanity. Human beings, 200,000. Humanity, 6,000 years. We have not evolved enough to be the kind of parents that most of us are waking up to realize we don't have. Our parents didn't think like that. You cannot say a word to my mother about her mother. Often I cannot say a word about my mother to my sister also. I can definitely not say anything about her father. I wouldn't even have bothered to try with my father about his father or his mother. You cannot. Definitely not in Asian, Middle Eastern, Indian communities. Right? Nobody questioned because things happen on autopilot. On Earth, there are schools that are on autopilot. Whether you like it or not, the sun will rise. Whether you like it or not, it will rise only in the east. Karma tells us how far we are from the plant and animal tendencies. There's a quiz we did. And in that quiz, you would have gotten a number. The bigger the number, the deeper what? Animal influence, animal tendencies. Your karma blockage today is happening because there are certain, including plant, because obviously you can't keep giving, you can't keep sheltering, you cannot keep nurturing, you cannot keep nourishing without getting the sunshine, the light, the dark, the water for yourself. And dark here means rest. It means time off. A plant, and absolutely correct, there is the giving us oxygen and taking in carbon dioxide. So they're also healing their environment. However, they do the reverse at night. Although there are some specific plants that you can keep at home near your bed because they do the opposite. At night, plants take in oxygen and give off carbon dioxide, because that is how they maintain a balance.